In 1949, Marshall W. Alworth created the Alworth Scholarship Fund in honor of his parents, Marshall and Nellie Alworth. Since that date, 70 years ago, the Alworth Fund has given out some $52 million to more than 5,100 local students. That great legacy was celebrated this week at a 70th anniversary event. Here to tell us more is Patty Salo Downs, Executive Director of the Alworth Fund. Chisholm native Alvy Erickson was one of the first recipients of a scholarship back in 1949, and Haley Antela is one of the latest recipients. She's a sophomore at UMD, and thanks to all of you for being here. Really appreciate you coming in.
We're excited to be here. The party continues on with the
What
anniversary.
a celebration. $52 million, that is a staggering number. Do you think that Marshall Alworth ever could have imagined having that kind of an impact over so many years?
Probably not, because he loved education. That was his huge passion, and he really, really wanted to help students that couldn't pay for school. He saw many talented people that were of the scientific mindset, and he thought by helping these students, that he would help them prepare for careers that would be of benefit to humanity. And I don't think he ever realized how his fortune would grow and how the foundation would grow. And I like to think of Marshall and Margaret, his wife Margaret. They didn't have any children. And
We
so,
have a picture of them up.
good, awesome, thank you. And so I look at those 5,100 students as their family.
Yeah.
They built a family of scholars.
Alvy, you got one of those scholarships while living in Chisholm back in the 1940s. What did that mean to you?
Well, it meant a lot. I had worked for scholarship for education money for years as a paper boy.
Oh my.
Worked in gas stations, worked in the mines in the summer.
You wanted to go to college.
Oh yes, mainly my mother's influence, but I was not against it. And the Alworth Scholarship Program started just at the right time from my point of view. Because I applied the first year and won, and it covered tuition at a much more expensive place than Hibbing Junior College, where I'd gone the first 2 years.
So this was your ticket to MIT.
That's right.
So talk about your studies there and where that took you in life.
Well, my particular study was mechanical engineering, but of course it's broader than that. It's math and physics and humanities as well. And I really looked forward to going into industry when I was done, but I got attracted by graduate school and stayed on for another degree or so. And so then I was teaching for a while, engineering, and then I got involved in a foreign program of the United States starting engineering college in India. And India was very interested in building these up, and there had been previous ones done by Britain, Germany, and Russia, and there was time for an American one. So under the foreign aid program, 9 American universities got involved, and I was at one of the 9, namely MIT. So we started a new institute at a high level, and these institutes of technology in India are the highest level colleges over there.
And now, Haley, all these years later, from the 1940s to now, you applied for a scholarship. You got one. Tell us about that.
I applied in 2018 for my freshman year of college at UMD, and one of the reasons I applied was because my science teacher back home, Mr. Gindorf, always was encouraging us to apply for scholarships because the 5 minutes of filling out the form is worth the potential of getting the money to help pay for college.
What did that mean to you when you got it?
It meant a lot. It meant that I could not work as much and I could actually focus on my studies because I am pre-med. It is a really hard major. And then it also meant that I could build relationships with amazing people like Patty.
Thank you. Well, the one thing I do want to say that some scholarships take 5 minutes to submit an application for.
This one didn't?
Oh no, I think most students should at least put a minimum of 2 hours on our application, if not 4. But then I always say, you know, if it takes you 2 hours and you get $20,000 to help you pay for school, how much an hour
good way
did you
to
make?
return.
You know, it's $10,000 an hour. That's the most you'll ever make in your entire life per hour. So it's a great investment of a student's time. And I know students have actually, today with the expense of college, they are actually graduating debt-free because they work the scholarship train. And the Alworth has a substantial sum of money at $20,000, and many of our students claim they graduate with little to no debt because they've been strategic, like Haley, in working and applying for that money.
How are the students selected? Because I imagine you get applications from all over the region, and there must be many, many more people applying than you have scholarships to give.
We cover a 10-county region in northeastern Minnesota, and we have 8 board members, and they are the ones who are charged with the difficult task. Every spring they say, oh gosh, this was so hard. And it is hard because we have about 180 students that apply each year, but we pick between 60 and 70 for the award. So on an average year, we are funding 240 students a year at a tune of $1.2 million. And so it's substantial.
Elmy, tell us about your Velcro story. What's that all about?
Well, I worked for a consulting company for a while out in the East Coast, and the Army was having some problems improving the armor on tanks. They wanted to make it better. And of course, the obvious solution was to bolt some more steel on it, but that's heavy and a lot of work and so on. So the little company always was coming up with crazy ideas, and the one they suggested was take a little 4-inch square of ceramic, put some Velcro on the back, and put it on the tank. And people laughed at that, of course. But what they did is when the enemy shell would hit the ceramic, it flattened the shell. And therefore the regular Army did 10 times better job.
Really?
Well, of course, the first things that everybody said was, those are all going to fall off. So we did a test out there at an Army proving ground, and they took the tank over logs and through the forest and everything, and not one fell off. So it turned out to be a nice little contribution to.
Absolutely. Wow.
Haley, you mentioned that you're pre-med. What kind of medicine do you plan to go into as you move through your schooling?
I really want to do internal medicine, but my end goal is oncology, which would be a cancer doctor. That kind of comes from the background that my aunt died at the young age of 28 of breast cancer, stage 4. So I just really want to do something in that type of field.
Is it inspiring to you to hear some of these stories of people who have come before you and received the Alworth Scholarship, and to see where that that money at the beginning really nudged them to go so much further?
Yeah, it is really inspiring to hear. It really makes me want to do well and do the same for future students and future recipients of the scholarship.
Patty, what do these Lifetime Achievement Awards mean to those who get them?
Well, they bring tears to their eyes, I can tell you that, but it's also a tremendous acknowledgement of the 3 individuals, June Hendrickson from Hibbing, Minnesota, Alvy from New Hampshire, and then Dr. Bill Jaycott from the Twin Cities. And the 3 of them combined have contributed over 175 years of community service to their professional fields also, and they saved lives. And whether it was in education, they all were in education, and whether it was with education or in the medical field or saving lives through mechanical engineering inventions, we really wanted to acknowledge that because Mr. Alworth wanted to prepare students for careers that would be of benefit to humanity. And those 3 rocked it out of the park.
Wow.
And I understand that the celebration also recognized the important role that teachers play.
Yes, it was the Educator Appreciation Luncheon. I strongly believe that educators are not given enough appreciation. It's a tireless job. I was a teacher. I know the dedication and the hours that it takes, and it gets weary. So we wanted to do this little boost and also to say thank you. We're partners with you. They actually prepare the students for their launch to college, and then the Alworth funds provide the octane fuel to get them to their star or to their
Nice.
dream.
And I imagine it's the season now when people are applying.
Yes, November 1, our website opens, and we have a ton of great stories from other recipients profiled
Sure.
at our website, so I hope people will
You bet.
do some happy reading.
All right. Well,
Congratulations.
congratulations on the award and
Certainly
on.
appreciate it. Made a lot of difference.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations on 70 years.
And
Thank
all the
you very
best to
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.